So the question is, why and when should somebody consider using a family trust? Our lawyer friends will immediately correct us and say we shouldn't call it a family trust. Should call it a discretionary trust, but I don't really want to talk about all the technicalities of trusts and family trusts. There's two big reasons or overarching reasons why we recommend family trusts when they're appropriate. The first reason is for protecting assets. So sometimes, to some level, it can be really good to own assets in a family trust to protect those assets from creditors or bankruptcy, or sometimes we have a business that's run through the family trust so that the rest of the assets are not at risk because of that particular risk. Probably the bigger reason, so the asset protection is really important, but the bigger reason is tax planning. So family trusts in the right circumstances can really help with tax planning, and I explain it this way: keep all options open, or most options open, for tax planning, and especially if you take a really kind of a long-term view. And the good thing about trust is that they're generally not expensive to set up, and they're also not really expensive to manage, and there's no great cost in shutting them down if there's not much in them. So there's not really generally a lot of harm in setting up a trust. So that's the why, is asset protection and tax planning. The when, and there's many different reasons why we recommend them. But probably there's three really common reasons when we recommend them to clients, family trust to clients. The first one is for business owners. Usually when we set up and recommend a structure for a new business, it's actually probably now unusual that we wouldn't recommend a trust somewhere in the business structure. So either that the business runs through a trust, or maybe it runs through the company, and the company is the shares in the company is owned by a trust, or even if a partnership's appropriate, often we'd recommend, that it's not a partnership of individual people, but a partnership of trusts. But that's for new businesses. And for business clients, if there's not a trust already, that's often a bit more care that needs to be taken to change business structures because of capital gains tax and those things. But they're very useful tax planning tools for business owners and for business income especially. So first reason is for business owners. The second reason that's quite common are for people doing sizable property developments. So for clients who are not just investing in a property and borrowing to invest in a property, but where they are going to do a more sizable property development. It might not be clear when the profit's going to be made, but because you can distribute to many different beneficiaries, it's useful to have that option open. So for property development. And then the third big reason are for clients who've got fairly significant investments outside of their superannuation. So that would be another good reason to think about a family trust. I didn't say this at the beginning, but the benefit of the family trust or discretionary trust is that it really gives you the opportunity to spread the income to different beneficiaries, and you can choose that with time. So that could be the husband, the wife, children that might come in the future, grandparents, mum and dad. So they usually broadly can distribute to family members, churches, charities, and something we often recommend is distributing to companies to invest through. But we might cover that in another question. So